watching Four Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen. This is part 3 and the final installment of my 3-video Black Friday haul. Just one of those things. I wanted to keep the videos a little bit short. They haven't been as short as I would have liked, but if I would have taken the time that I've taken so far, we would have been well over 30 minutes going into 45 or 50 minutes. So, final installment is the dollar books. I've done the 50-cent books, the dollar books. I'm sorry, final installment is the $5 wall books. There we go. And I do want to say very quickly that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video. But anyway, this will be the last video of the Black Friday haul. And so we're going to go right into the $5 books. And then I'll have one other thing to show you that I forgot to show you from Comic Empire of Tulsa. And a couple of things there. But anyway, start off with a run that I'm working on, have been working on for a while, have done videos including some of these books before. And also there's going to be a lesson in this video, just so you know. But anyway, got a few more werewolves to add to my werewolf run. At Werewolf by Night number 10. I haven't even broken these open yet, so I don't know who the artists are on the inside on these. This is one of those series that I'm fairly new to. I acquire them all. They're worth it to me for the most part for the covers, but I know the early issues have Mike Plugart and that kind of thing, and so they're worth it. I love the Bronze Age horror stuff. With the exception of Dracula, I was always kind of lukewarm on Dracula, Marvel's Dracula. But anyway, so I'm trying to gather them all up before I read them, or at least as many of them as I can. Werewolf number 10, love that cover. Werewolf, this is one of my favorite werewolf covers, I believe, at number 18, where he squares off against another werewolf. And I'm trying to keep the glare off of those, but anyway, number 18. Werewolf number 19, where he throws down with Dracula, the aforementioned Dracula. I was glad to get again, $5 a piece. These were not marked for $5. These are mostly high-grade items. Werewolf number 20, $5 wall book there. Always like that one too. See, that seems like a that could be a Spider-Man scene for some reason. I don't know why I think that, but I think of Spider-Man lifting that famous Ditko, and I also think of that being as underwater, because that's actually dust falling. But the first time I saw that, just a misconception story. I thought it was underwater. I thought he was underwater and tearing out a grate so he could get to the surface. And then I realized, hey, wait, that's a window. I'd always seen it from a distance on a wall somewhere. You know, I never got to take a close look at it. So I always thought that'd be a cool Spider-Man cover. Well, turns out it's totally in Werewolf's bailiwick. All right. Werewolf by Night number 21. The other werewolf is also seen in this one. I don't know if that's the John Jameson werewolf. I don't believe it is, but who knows? I've never read these stories before, so it's kind of cool. Now this one, I think, to me, is kind of almost an iconic cover. I've been seeing this cover on this particular issue of Werewolf by Night for years, since I was a kid. And to me, it's one of those iconic covers that's not an iconic cover, but Werewolf by Night number 25. That's just one of the images that come to my mind when I think of Marvel's Werewolf by Night. And so issue 25, those were $5 wall books. Now, I'm going to save the lesson for last. It's a lesson about knowing what you're buying. Now, okay, that we've got here, let me get these together. Got some Silver Age to look at here. Avengers number 54. I think that was one of the first appearances of the new Masters of Evil, or the first appearance of the new Masters of Evil. I'm not sure. Now, again, some of these key books, they're in a little bit lower condition than I like. But again, for $5, these are iconic books, keys. So and just great images. Okay, great covers. Captain America number 116, $5 wall book. Okay, love that cover, that colon cover there. Avengers number 58. Okay, and this is the origin of the Vision. Great John Buscema cover here. Number 58, and just a great, really iconic Avengers image, iconic Avengers cover. Avengers number 72 with Scorpio. I'm not sure of the I'm not sure of the significance of this one as far as key status or anything, but it's just a nice looking book for like I said, $5 wall book. It was marked originally for 20, and it is a really cool book. Marvel Spotlight number 33, Deathlock the Demolisher. Very cool cover there. I believe it's probably, yep, the Rich Buckler cover. Rich Buckler did a lot of covers for Marvel. And is this the way a Deathlock dies as he goes up against Devil Slayer? And so I've been slowly latching onto those Marvel Spotlight Deathlock books, and I like getting those, especially for $5. This next one is, again, I talked about the Hulk run. That's very nostalgic to me, the Sal Buscema Hulk run. I've been going back and getting those. This particular Hulk obviously wasn't a dollar or 50-cent book because of, I believe, this wasn't the first appearance of the Gardner. That was in a Marvel team-up, and I don't remember the exact issue, but it was the Spider-Man Warlock. But it does have the appearance of the Gardner and one of the Infinity Stones. I'm not sure if that's why it's considered a wall book, but I did get it for $5. And nice copy of that book of Incredible Hulk 248. And I always like that Michael Golden cover too. Very nice. Very nice. These next ones are magazine size. This one goes back to my love of John Byrne. John Byrne's early work especially. I've mentioned before that John Byrne was one of the coolest young artists. I'm trying to think of how to say this. Your young artists are always hungry to break in. They're always hungry to achieve an elevated status for their work. John Byrne was one of those artists. I always felt like the way his work looked at that he worked very hard at it. I believe he was somewhat a part of the Neil Adams school, but not, wasn't going for a super realistic look to his characters, just a mostly realistic. But this is one of his early works was Raj 2000. That was done for CPL magazine or Contemporary Pictorial Literature, which was a fanzine put out by Charlton. But anyway, this was a magazine-sized reprint of his Raj 2000 work. Okay, and it's Raj 2000. It has actually a double cover here. Okay, and so kind of a cool, very cool cover that was done for that book by John Byrne. Let's see what the publication date on this is, because I honestly forget. 1982, published by Pacific Comics Distributors. It is black and white on the inside. It would have been cool if they'd colorized it, but still, it's very cool. John Byrne, Raj 2000 art, early John Byrne stuff, which again, I like his early stuff. And when I say early stuff, I'm not talking X-Men. I'm not even talking Iron Fist. I'm talking CPL. I'm talking Charlton. I'm talking Space 1999. I'm talking Doomsday Plus One. I love that work of John Byrne's. Yes, it's rough. It's in some cases sketchy, but it's visceral, and it's very emotive, and it's just, you can tell the guy was hungry to do comic art, to do great comic art, and I think he succeeded. I love his early stuff, and Raj 2000, though it's comedic, it falls into that. His Raj 2000 art, cool stuff. It's very cool stuff. So anyway, I was really glad to find that for $5 because that's not a book that you just find everywhere. Okay, and these next two, also magazine size. I'm going to open them up because this is I only had one of these so far. Now I have three. Okay, but I would like to. One of the things I would like to do as far as collecting is I would like to acquire every issue of Foom, and at least now I'm two closer. I only have three, but I'm two closer, and this is Foom number 19. I'm saving number 16. It comes, obviously it's become before 19, but I'm saving it for last, as far as this is concerned, for a special reason. But anyway, just kind of a neat hodgepodge cover there. I think some of those images are by Steranko, but I'm not sure about that. But continues on the back, just different little mostly faces of heroes, some head and shoulders, and just neat, articles like Defenders Dialogue, interviewing. I imagine Steve Englehart and Englehart and Len Wein and Roy Thomas in there, Steve Gerber, and so lots of interviews, some art from the comics and stuff like that scattered throughout. So I always just loved these Foom issues whenever I could, because when I was a kid I saw a few of them, but I never really was able to get any. But just it was part advertising, part articles about spotlights on different books for Marvel, part interviews, and so it was just kind of a lot of really cool stuff. Information pieces on creators and that kind of thing. Okay, and then lastly is Foom number 16, and this one is beautiful because it is a double, again like the others, double spread cover, front and back cover by Marie Severin, that illustrating basically the Marvel bullpen. Okay, this is a Marie Severin piece showing at the time the entire Marvel bullpen. What would the time have been? The time would have been 1976. Okay, so volume 1, number 16, 1976. And the cool thing about this is, yes, indeed, you do. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, surely there's got to be a key in there. And I was going through the book and kind of looking at the articles. I was starting to get toward the back, and I was getting really worried. No key, no key. And then finally, oh, last page. There's your key. Who everybody is. I love stuff like this. And when it's done by someone like Marie Severin, and it has to do with the Marvel bullpen of the Bronze Age, that's just all gravy. And so anyway, Foom number 16, and again, great. We're speaking of the Devil Slayer in that issue of Marvel Spotlight with Deathlock. There's the story behind that story right there. Okay, Deathlock versus Devil Slayer. And so that's kind of cool that I unknowingly grabbed both of those, this book and that Marvel Spotlight. I grabbed those on the same Black Friday. Just kind of cool. Caricature of Marie Severin of herself there by her, and just kind of a cool write-up on Marie. I love stuff like this. I love the history of comics, especially the history of Marvel comics and Charlton comics, that kind of thing. So anyway, really glad to have those. Those were my $5 wall books. Now, one last $5 wall book, and it's a lesson. And when I first realized this, I was bummed because here's the thing. Always check what you buy. Here's the setup. When for the $5 wall books, when you would go into on every Black Friday, when you go into Wizards Asylum Comics and Games, and by the way, I don't blame them. Everyone makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I don't care how well you know comics. Nobody's perfect. This shouldn't have been a $5 wall book though. And when you go in, you have 60 seconds to pick 5 wall books, which is a great deal. Generally, you can do that by sight. But I was mistaken on this particular book. I took a gamble, and I thought, oh, that book is that's no $5 book. That book consistently goes for more than that online. It always bids way up. Well, the book in question was a Birds of Prey book. I had it in my mind that this Birds of Prey Manhunt number 1 was the very first Birds of Prey book, and it isn't. It is Birds of Prey and Oracle. Or something like that. But I saw this, I got it, and my goodness, it's not even it's going sometimes for less than $5 on eBay. But you know what? I'm just going to say that's not on Wizards, that's on me. Okay? Now it may have at one time been hot and been left up there, but I don't think this book has been hot in quite some time. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I looked it up right after I got back from Black Friday, and it's not it's about a $4 or $5 book, so it's okay. I didn't get ripped off, but especially considering all the other great deals I got, and it's still a beautiful Gary Frank cover, and I love that. I always loved Gary Frank's work, so the cover's great anyway, and there's just a cool image, but not what I thought it was. Know what you're looking for, especially if you have to make snap decisions. Okay, now I'm going to get one more item because I should have mentioned it at the dollar with the dollar books, and I didn't. At least I don't believe I did. If I did, you've seen it again, or maybe someone who didn't see that first video, maybe you'll appreciate it. But I appreciate Kenny at Comic Empire of Tulsa having this out there. This is a Dell, an old, and it is a beater, Dell movie classic. Okay, but I got it for $1. So it's a 1960. Yeah, 1960 Dell movie classic, 12 center or 10 center, and it is the Time Machine. And it is, like I say, it's a beater, but it's not going to go on the spinner rack. I'm going to go ahead and bag and board it because it is a photo cover, very cool, with a really cool air rifle, advertisement on the back, and love that. But here's the thing: I opened this up and I couldn't find, and I haven't looked yet. It'll be easy enough to find the information on this. But I opened this up and I thought, oh my goodness, that looks like Alex Toth. I don't believe it is. It may be. But I look at that and I think, man, someone, if that's not Alex Toth, someone's doing their best Alex Toth impression, at least on that first page. Just has a very Toth look. Now, like I said, I haven't done the research on this. It may very well be. I just haven't checked it out. But if that turns out to be an Alex Toth book, that's a really good deal for $1. A really neat piece of comics history. If it's not, it's still a great deal. But I think, I'm looking at it, the more I look at it, I think it may be Alex Toth. But anyway, glad to have it anyway. Thanks, Kenny at Comic Empire, for the great dollar deal on that. It's a piece of history, and it has that old comic smell. All right, so anyway, hey, that's it. That's it. That's the Black Friday haul in 3 videos, and I'm thankful for those who watched. And again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in and coming back for the Black Friday videos. Next, I've got either a like I say, as far as some earlier books I talked about a video or two ago, got a Affordable Firsts coming up, and I'm going to do another Why Isn't This Hot here before too much longer. But anyway, for those who keep coming back, and for new ones who keep subscribing, I appreciate it. Thanks very much, and keep on coming back, and we'll see you next video.